Good morning, Albuquerque. How you doing?
Good.
Good. You look good. And now you sound as good as you look. I want to thank Tom. I want to thank Jim. I want to thank everybody who helped to get me involved in this, Pia, Gallegos, because this kind of work, the work that we are doing as one race, one human race about our planet, to me is a work that's not an issue. Like, there is no other side. It's either we do this or we die, right? That's how it feels to me. So I just appreciate that, when I'm going through, like, the daily bread of being a parent and the daily bread of writing poems, that there are people that are working on this 24/7 because the clock is ticking. So I want to thank you. I want to thank 350. And I brought a poem for you today that I wrote a little while ago, but I think it's appropriate. It's called Blood Money. And it was written originally for an event I did with the Sierra Club, but I'm happy to share it and honored to share it with you today. Water is the main ingredient in substantially all our products. It is also a limited resource in many parts of the world, facing unprecedented challenges from overexploitation, increasing pollution, poor management, and climate change. As demand for water continues to increase around the world and as water becomes scarcer and the quality of available water deteriorates, our system may incur increasing production costs or face capacity constraints, which could adversely affect our profitability or net operating revenues in the long run. From the SEC disclosure of Coca-Cola. The blood coursing through the veins of our mother is blue. Water is the main ingredient in her offspring, in us. We will incur the cost. Our profitability will be obsolete. Our net operating revenue will flatline in the long run, which is not very long at all. While we gamble on the next strike, we are promising ourselves a stroke. We spend money we do not have on terror we cannot see, but won't spend a dime on the climate bending in our bones, the flood ravaging our sinuses, the apocalypse brewing in our gut. The future we can touch right now. There is a famine in our soul, wailing El Reparto, but we cannot hear it. Singing the song of three sisters mourning maize, bean, and squash. In a rush to armor borders instead of vegetation, we leave our food supply unprotected as if there is anything else worth saving. Not even fava beans can adapt to a drought of common sense. When will we ask if we can weather this wealth? When will we start blaming acts of God on the inaction of men? When will we look the storm in the eye and do more than apologize? When natural catastrophes in the past 30 years have more than doubled globally, yet have quadrupled in North America alone, we will cast stones at Haiti and keep calling our mother out her name until we become Sodom and Gomorrah. Our beliefs are not enough. Reality is heating up. You can pray or you can plan, but I suggest you do both. What are we waiting for? Albuquerque to become beachfront property? For snowpacks to become life support instead of a weekend getaway, for Atlantic City to resemble Atlantis, for wildfires to replace bonfires on the 4th of July, for Mother Nature to stand her ground. Bitch slap the coal and electric plants with power outages every summer, tide the fossil highways with all of her broken water, and force us to evolve. How come we are not born again even after Superstorm Sandy baptized Wall Street? What if water was currency? Would we spill it from our pockets and not pick it up? Would we hoard it under our beds and in our bodies? Would we save it for our children's future? Tell me how much a football field of New York City taxi cabs underwater costs. Tell me the cost of pretending God doesn't exist. The biggest tree hugger known to man, been talking to us through plagues, floods, and burning bushes since Noah's kids. Hey, Oklahoma Senator Jim, climate change is a hoax and hope. Let me give you a tip. If you really want more people of color in your voting district, this is it. Because when the tide rises 4 feet by century's end and the coastal states where all their immigrants migrate in, you'll get your wish. Your habit is expensive. Your denial the costliest of sins. The government spending you loathe will lessen as soon as you let climate change legislation begin. Don't worry about upsetting the publicly traded companies you hope fund your re-election bid, because the truth is green. And the SEC's been requiring them to disclose the climate change risk to their bottom line since 2010. Your profitability is obsolete. All net operating revenue flatlines in the long run, which is not very long at all. Sadly, in the end, all of us are not going to share in the profits, but we will all reap the cost. Thank you.